Miles away from the Texas border, Congress is attempting to reach common ground on the immigration crisis. Today, Senate Democrats will have a closed-door briefing with Homeland Security Secretary Jeh Johnson, while members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus hold their own meeting with White House officials. And those meetings come as Politico reports House Republicans may vote as early as next week on their own bill. Joining me now, CNN political commentator and Republican strategist Ana Navarro and Republican Congressman Bill Flores of Texas. Welcome to both of you.
Good morning, Carol.
Good morning. Congressman Flores, I know Republicans are working on a new bill. We already know the Corn and Cuellar bill is kind of dead in the Senate. Lawmakers now have 11 days to come up with a solution. I'm willing to bet you, Congress, nothing concerning immigration will get through Congress. Do you care to make that bet with me?
Well, Carol, I would actually disagree with you. I think that we in Congress view this as a humanitarian crisis, a security crisis, and a health care crisis. And we need to, if we need to stay past July, we should stay past July to address this important issue for the American people. So in short, yes, I would take that bet.
You would take, it just seems like everybody's working on their own bill and nobody's really working together.
Well, that's fairly common in Congress. I mean, everybody has a different idea as to how we can best address this issue. And so, I mean, there are certain key themes that we know we have to work on. And I think over time you'll see these bills gel together with a solution that gives at least a majority of the House and in the Senate 80 or 90% of what they want.
So Ana, you're a Republican strategist. You know the game. Will all of these ideas gel into one bill that everybody can vote yes on?
Look, I think at least some temporary measures, even if it's for a few months, need to pass and will pass, because there's a lot of public pressure on Congress right now and on the administration to address this. It's an issue that's an emergency issue that has gotten a lot of media coverage. I think they are hearing from their constituents. I think it's going to be hard for people like Representative Flores and other members of the Texas delegation, of the Arizona delegation, and all over the country to go back home for a one-month recess without having addressed what is a very urgent need. And I think people in Congress feel that, as does the administration. It's important that the administration is spending the time this week to brief Congress on the data, which has been very fuzzy. I think that when they understand all the push and pull factors that are making this perfect political storm, that there might be some meeting of the minds and some actual result out of Congress.
I really hope. And Congressman, you said that you are willing to stay into your August recess if nothing gets done in the month of July.
That's correct. I have a lot of work to do with my constituents in August, but I'm more than willing to stay here and address this crisis. And really, I think many of my colleagues are as well. And I fully agree with Ana's assessment of this situation. It is too critical to allow the failed policies to continue. We've got to fix the policies and to address this humanitarian health and security crisis.
Ana, I wanted to ask you about these protests throughout the country, blocking buses carrying undocumented kids to places willing to house them. What are your thoughts on that?
It breaks my heart.
It breaks your heart.
I mean, I've got to tell you, Carol, it makes me cringe. It breaks my heart. I think that's not at all what America is about. And I fear when it becomes this vitriolic, when the debate becomes this angry. And, you know, and I also kind of put myself in the shoes of those kids and think about what those kids, some of whom have been on the road trying to get here for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, gone through God knows what. We know some of them get raped. We know some of them get abused on the way over here. And they finally make it here. We know we're sending them back. But do we have to scream vitriolic offenses at them while they're here? You know, so it really breaks my heart. I think we are a nation that is compassionate, that is empathetic, that can understand some of these people are fleeing really god-awful conditions, violence, poverty, just terrible conditions. And let's be that compassionate America that has always been part of our history. Even though we're sending those kids back, is it, you know, the days that they're here, must we treat them this way?
Congressman Flores, do sites like that break your heart as well?
Well, they do, and I think I agree fully with Ana, but we have to put ourselves in the shoes of those children. We also need to put our shoes ourselves in the shoes of a frustrated constituency in this country that sees laws being broken, that sees the actions of the administration that caused this crisis to happen. And so we need to understand their frustration.
But the scene in Oracle, Arizona, no laws were being broken. These kids were taken to a place that was willing to accept them. No laws were being broken.
Well, the laws that are being broken go further back than that, and they're the reason that these unaccompanied minors are here to start with. The one is the President's Deferred Action Memo of 2012, and then the way he's enforced the 2008 Trafficking Act. If he had not done the Deferred Action Memo and had forced the 2008 trafficking law the way it's supposed to be, we wouldn't have put a big sign up at the border that says, "Come north, we're going to feed you and house you and give you citizenship and let you."
Well, how is this 2008 law supposed to work then? Because these children have a right to a hearing, correct?
Well, they do.
According to this law.
If they're unaccompanied, but a large percentage of these children coming over, just under 50%, are coming over with adults. They don't have the right to stay here. They should be turned around and sent back. And so that would greatly reduce the head count.
Carol, I think it's important to put that 2008 law into context. The 2008 law was an amendment by Senator Dianne Feinstein, and it was to help protect the victims of human trafficking so that they wouldn't be immediately repatriated and fall again immediately into the hands of the human traffickers that had abused them in the first place. I think there was never any intent or any thought that it would result in this. And I also think there's just not one cause to this problem. It's broken systems in Central America. It's broken economic systems, broken governments, it's violence, it's gang organizations. But more than anything, it is a criminal organization of human smugglers taking advantage and misrepresenting U.S. policy in Central America and making these parents believe that for $6,000, $7,000 their kids can come here and have a free pass. That's just what's happening. So those are all the things we have to address. We can't just address one thing or this problem will really never end.
So, Congressman,
correct.
It's in your hands. Thank you so much. Ana Navarro, Congressman Bill Flores. I'm back.
Thank you.
Great to be with you today.